All right, the big games this weekend, and I had to get a perspective from the fan. This is Kirill Smolyansky. You live in Cincy. I imagine you grew up there, right? If I'm not mistaken. Give me kind of the story and background of your Bengals fandom because you haven't experienced a playoff win until this year, right? In your entire life.
Yeah, yeah, it's been crazy. Like like even like with the Reds too, the curse of Bo Jackson, like because he
Right.
got injured against the Bengals. Yeah, but yeah, I started being a Bengals fan the year Carson Palmer got hurt against the Steelers. I think that was '06, something like that. And yeah, it's been interesting ever since. I remember they had like 8 Johnsons on the team at one point, and it was awesome. But yeah, then yeah, high school like the Bengals they won a lot of regular season games. I think they
Right.
had like they were the top 10 winning percentage all throughout high school. The 2010s with Andy Dalton, but you always knew like they were 12-4, and you're just like hoping for a playoff win. If you're a 12-4 team, you should be aiming higher than that. And
Right.
it's just been very low expectations. Like each time, even every Bengals game, it's low expectations, but it's just been great.
Were your
Now
parents fans at all, or did you kind of? How did you? You just grew up a sports fan. You lived in the city. Like, what is this going to mean to the city? The playoff run already has been great, but if you bring a title
it's
back home,
it's crazy. So my dad watches with me. My mom and grandma are getting into it now with this playoff run because like I went to the Raiders playoff game and everything, so they're into it now. But the city's crazy right now. It is ridiculous. Like right now, I live 50 minutes north of Cincinnati Dane, and even like the stores at Kroger, people are saying "Who Day" to each other, like 50 minutes outside the city. It's awesome. Everyone's super excited. Everyone's taking off work on Monday. Like even the schools are shut down on Monday after the Super Bowl.
that's right. That's going to be awesome. And you said if they win
Yeah,
it, the city's going to burn, which would
yeah.
be
It's
crazy.
I can't. I'm going downtown. I'm driving downtown. We got like a little table at a bar there with me and my buddies, and I can't imagine what would happen if they win. I got goosebumps. I haven't been able to sleep really. Like I just think about it
I
all the
know.
time.
Oh God,
Crazy.
it's
I,
one of the best times. Like me and Matt were watching the games, or I think one of the playoff rounds. We were just saying, man, we are so pumped for Kirill, just knowing what that could do for a fan base and how that feels as a fan. Like every day is a good day when you're on this run. You mentioned kind of you had winning teams, but it was always just you couldn't. You had I think 5 straight years with a playoff loss. I'm just going to kind of rattle off some names, phrases for you, and you just give me the first couple thoughts that come to your mind. And we'll start with Marvin Lewis.
good rebuilding coach, but players like couldn't control a locker room. I guess. Like I
Interesting.
just remember every single time it was a big situation. Every playoff game, there was just super personal foul, and everyone knows about the Pac-Man and Vontaze Burfict game against the Steelers. But
Yeah.
even against like the Chargers, the Colts, the Texans, the players just choked. I think he got in his head more than anyone. He would just choke in the playoffs. But like, he's a guy that could coach the Jags and turn them around. I feel like
Right.
Bengals were awful.
You mentioned two things there. Vontez Burfict. What comes to mind there when you hear his name?
Uh, he would have been a Hall of Famer if he played in the '80s.
Right, no kidding. I
You
mean,
go to
he was on the Bengals for quite some time, and he was obviously in the headlines more often than not.
It's crazy. People still love him here. I went to Costco the other weekend and I saw 4 Burfict jerseys on. It's 2022 and you still see his jersey everywhere.
That's great. I think the AFC North is one of the I'm a Falcons fan. The NFC South doesn't have this rivalries. What does it mean, and what was it like growing up facing Big Ben? What does the Pittsburgh Steelers mean to you as a Bengals fan?
Fuck the Steelers. I hate the
Yeah, I was
Steelers
hoping
so
for that.
bad. I hate everything about it. And it pisses me off so much. You know how like the rebellious kids, like they'll be Steelers fan just because their dad's a Bengals fan. If you're from
Yeah,
Cincinnati, how can you possibly be a Steelers fan? Like, get out
right,
of here.
exactly.
They're so good too, and it just irritates me.
Chad Johnson / Ocho Cinco.
Most underrated receiver of all time, best footwork of all time. I have his jersey still. I
Yeah.
remember I wore number 85 as a kid when I played football because of him. Like he's the reason like I started watching football just because his personality was awesome.
Yeah, I had a Chad Johnson jersey as well, not Ocho Cinco, but he was so damn fun. It was the creation of the No Fun League, right? We were always looking for him to do the touchdown celebrations. Him and Steve Smith going back and forth. That was like shit. That's growing up watching the NFL. I feel like
I remember one year T.O. was on the Bengals and him and
that's
Chad on the
right.
same team. That was every touchdown was awesome. It was a celebration.
Okay, last two here. Carson Palmer and then Andy Dalton. You kind of got both of them throughout their careers.
I have mixed emotions about Carson because I feel bad for him because he was really good, but also the way he left Cincy, that was just a shithead move. Like saying he's going to retire. He just retired and then to get off the team. Andy Dalton, good guy. But literally AJ Green should be in the Hall of Fame for making Andy Dalton a Pro Bowl caliber quarterback. He's the
great point.
Definition of average, and he led the team to 12-4 in 5 straight playoff appearances.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I feel bad. I felt bad for our friends that are Bears fans when they signed him.
God,
it's QB1 Andy Dalton things everywhere, cracking me up. But good guy.
We knew exactly what he was, and he gave us exactly what he was with the Bears this year as well. All right, so talk to me about Joe Burrow. So it's crazy. You go from having no playoff wins whatsoever to 3 this year and a berth in the Super Bowl. He could join the likes of Brady, Big Ben, Kurt Warner, and Russ as second-year quarterbacks to win the Super Bowl. However, the downside is always he could join Marino and Kaepernick as the second-year quarterbacks to get there. Both of those guys never ended up winning one. And if there's anything I learned as a Falcons fan is you better take care of business when you're there because you might never get back. I think I was a senior that year. They were fucking in it. They're up 28-3.
Yeah.
So, you went from seeing kind of my pain and now I'm kind of seeing and hoping, rooting for your success here. So with Joe Burrow, you got to love him, right?
He's God. I love Joe Burrow so much. I smile watching him play. Like it's weird having Andy Dalton be the quarterback for so long. It's like average football. You see Joe Burrow, even if he's like not making like the highlight play, you're smiling. I've never felt that feeling from football before. Just like smiling watching the TV.
That's a great point. And he's a winner. He's great in press conferences. Like, Mahomes, if it wasn't for Jimmy G having a terrible Super Bowl and Shanahan choking, what Mahomes, why is he facing a league? Burrow, I think it's open for the taking here, certainly. And Burrow's putting together a hell of a resume this year.
Yeah. I mean, he's done everything you can. Like the Bengals were literally the worst team in the league 2 years ago, the worst. And now they're in the Super Bowl. It's crazy. The team, it's not like they have the best facility. Like Pat McAfee always says, no indoor practice facility, only team in the NFL. But he just makes it work. He makes the guys believe.
Right. And your owner kind of notoriously, he's been okay with what they've had. He hasn't really kind of dipped into spending money. And I've heard the narrative, is this the thing that kind of invigorates in the city behind him to spend for the future of the franchise?
We're all hoping so. I mean, he's he genuinely loves football. Players say he's always at practice. He's just a little cheap in the pockets, but hopefully that changes when he sees how good this team is and how they have the 5th most salary cap room this upcoming offseason.
Right, which is certainly interesting. Aaron Rodgers hasn't been back in 10 years. Cam Newton's probably not going to get another chance. Jared Goff, Jimmy G, are they going to get other chances? Tell me how the Bengals win this game, Kirill Smolyansky.
Defense has to put on a show like they did against the Titans in the second half against the Chiefs. They have to limit what the Rams score. And the Bengals it's going to be a bunch of quick passes. It's going to be a bunch of screens. It's going to be little short routes because the pass rush is going to come towards them. But yeah, Jamar Chase is going to have to make a man miss against the Titans. That little 0-yard screen that ended up being 80 yards basically.
Yeah.
So did that. And yeah, I mean, Joe Burrow, he's not going to make mistakes. It's going to have to be Matthew Stafford makes mistakes and they just methodically go down the field. So, I mean, I like it because if Matthew Stafford, Joe Burrow, I know Stafford's been in the league for a while, but I always see Stafford try to throw a game away whenever he can.
I keep waiting for it.
He tried against the Niners.
No kidding.
If I had to trust a quarterback, Joe Burrow is just a winner. So I trust him more. Matt Stafford couldn't do it for the Lions. Joe Burrow's doing it for the Bengals. It's basically the same thing.
No kidding. I mean, one of the longest playoff droughts. He wins a national title. He's undefeated in the playoffs. Who knows what they could have done if he didn't get injured last year. You said it. I just keep waiting for Matthew Stafford to kind of fail. And here's how I think it's going to happen should the Bengals win. As you said, Stafford's going to make the mistake. It's going to be the pick six. Bates the third. I was looking at kind of your last decade of draft classes. That might be one of the most under the radar picks in the last 5 years. And this dude,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, the this year he kind of had a rough regular season. It's a contract year. He didn't get the. They're going to try to re-sign him in the offseason, I hope. He was waiting for it during the regular season. Played in his head, he said. But 2 years before that, he was PFF's #1 ranked safety back-to-back years over Meekin Fitzpatrick, over Budda Baker. He's a stud, and he's been playing like in the playoffs.
Yeah. And I'm shocked. What the second half adjustments they made to make Mahomes go from looking like Mahomes to looking like freaking Peyton Manning in his last season was crazy. The second half adjustments, and of course the Chiefs ended up blowing that game. That's exciting. Do you have any bets you like? Do you have any juicy futures on the team you love? What are you looking forward to this Sunday? Of course, other than watching your team.
I mean, I got a decent amount of units on the Bengals line. I don't see this as being like a high scoring game. I know the offenses are really good, but I think the defenses are really good too. And Sean McVay, you saw the Super Bowl he played against the Patriots. He choked. Like you saw him against you were tweeting about against the Niners. What was he doing with his?
Oh my God, he was burning timeouts like they were freaking a heater.
So, he's in his own head. I feel like it's gonna be a low scoring game. I got like a little parlay with the +4.5 and the under.
Yeah,
and I got a bunch of prop bets. Like
love it. I was what's so interesting, and this is why the NFL is so great and it's been an awesome playoffs. It's like you could argue that the Bengals like probably were a bounce away from losing all 3 games they played in. Rams too, they almost coughed it up with fumbles against the Bucks, but they certainly could have lost to the 49ers. I mean, we could have had so many different matchups possibly this year.
I thought for sure it was going to be Bengals 49ers, and then I really wanted that so bad because we got Cool Joe on our side now, Joe Cool.
Yes.
Instead of like the previous 2 times, but
give me Shanahan any day of the week facing him in the big game for sure.
Yeah.
Facing against him.
And we were at that Niners game. The only reason the Bengals lost, they fumbled 2 punts inside their own 25.
Oh my God! So many live units lost that day. One of my favorite stadiums, I think as well too. Underrated. I know it's old, but the atmosphere there was fucking awesome.
Yeah, it was awesome at the Raiders game. The wild card round. They said that was like the most it ever like got to. I think it was like 66,000. It was like over capacity. I don't know how they got that many people in there, but it was awesome.
Love it.
You got any bets you like for the Super Bowl?
You know what? I'm looking at the sharps are on Bengals, which is good too. Like I think this line opened up, and I kind of mentioned it. Like last question I'll ask for you is like I would imagine there's going to be a lot of Cincy fans in LA, right? That home field advantage is one thing, but it's the Rams. Like last year was like they undervalued the home field in Tampa. This year, I feel like they're overcorrecting it for the Rams. I love Burrow as an underdog, especially when the public's back in the Rams.
I saw a stat. I think Burrow's 8-0 this year when they're over 3-point dogs, and like just straight money line, just 8-0. Yeah. So, but it's weird. It's like Super Bowls is usually like not even fans. It's like 80% execs with their friends and family.
Right. It's going to be like celebrities too.
Have you looked at ticket prices? It's ridiculous. The cheapest ticket in is $5,500. And that's not, you don't get a seat. It's just standing.
That's crazy.
And they said it's the most expensive Super Bowl. I have a couple people I know that are going, but I don't know. It's crazy. We just had the pep rally downtown Cincinnati today,
right,
at the stadium. 30,000 people, and I saw the Rams. There's only 3,000 people at their pep rally.
I was hoping to talk to Aaron Platts. I think he's going to the thing tonight. And
at a high school field, dude.
Right. Yeah, that's crazy. Interesting to see. Well, enjoy the week, brother, and obviously hope to enjoy the big game. Appreciate Kirill Smolyansky stopping by to talk some Bengals. Who day? Yeah, who day? Thanks, brother.
Yep.